Hey guys, good morning. How's it going, people? What was I gonna say? Give me one second. Alright, so we are basically in Mercury retrograde energies. And we are, tonight is the full moon, and I still don't know what sign. Oh, it's Pisces. Okay, I checked that yesterday. Okay, I had to reevaluate that situation on whether or not I checked it out. So, first of all, I just wanted to apologize for not having posted on YouTube my readings that I've done in the past couple of days. I just felt like if you were there for it, you were there for it. If not, there was just like a lot of releasing that went on, so they're kind of a bit like, I guess I'm not gonna say, well, I'm gonna say, yeah, both personal but also releasing, which kind of is a little bit negative. But I don't know, I was just getting from spirit not to post it, so I'm thinking that those were the reasons why, but there always could be much bigger reasons. I'm also getting no need to worry, so it just is what it is, you know. It was how it was meant to be. This one though, however, I was hearing that it has to be posted, so we're going into it. So this reading is for today, Saturday, Helpful People in Travel theme day. Color is gray. And it's for after 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time up until 3 p.m. tomorrow Eastern Standard Time, which is the career day. Sunday career. The colors are black and blue. Yeah, black and blue. Very interestingly enough, I feel like a lot of people are experiencing black and blues. So, you know, I was also thinking, do I say it out loud? The black and blue, not Boys to Men, but Backstreet Boys album. Maybe that's a good album to play for tomorrow. All right. So highest and best yin card. Thank you. That's basically for tomorrow, and highest and best yin card for today. Ooh, I love how this is, okay, this energy is like all about taking action. So it's kind of like energetic energy if you got it in ya, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like, you know, take action is kind of like a green light, and I'm actually seeing in the Yang card, I'm seeing a green frame, which is kind of confirming the green light, right? That what I'm saying here, which is also healing. I feel like a healing has been done through really, I'm gonna say like heavy closeouts, or heavier than expected maybe closeouts, and it's fine. So and I feel like with the veil being so thin, I feel like you're literally turning to spirit to see if the actions that you're taking for yourself are in the right direction. And I feel like spirit is definitely communicating it back to you, where it's like, yeah, you're all green lit up, like you can go, you know. And it's really interesting. Do I say it? Okay, it was like yes and no, but I don't know. I found it really interesting today. There was a green subtlety that happened in my world that I was like, that's weird. So I feel like Archangel Raphael is definitely there to heal you, but also possibly to bring love into your life. Okay. So the yin card for today is within the next few weeks. And instantly what's coming to me is I feel like you're going to literally be putting into gear things that you kind of just need to get done if you were going to relocate or move, you know what I'm saying, within the next few weeks. So you're kind of like getting yourself prepared, I feel, to just make sure that all your T's are crossed, all your I's are dotted, that type of thing. And then moving on into the into like what's going on internally, but also your midway happy way card for today is take action. So I feel like that's really gonna just like maybe movement is just more of what you are kind of dreaming of, you know what I'm saying? And I want to put it exactly in that way because we are in Pisces, we are in the Pisces energies, you know, full moon energies. So it's kind of like you're clearing out what no longer needs to be there. You're simplifying, right? So you're decluttering, you're clearing out what no longer is serving you, and you are basically making room and time and space, if you need to kind of like, and planning, you know, putting your kind of mind to paper, planning like what would be your next best move to take within the next few weeks. So yeah, I just feel like I feel like you're right in alignment. There is a shooting star here that I've never even seen before in this card. And it's, you know what, it's wonderful that the unicorn is popping up in this card too, because here's what I feel. Those people that are kind of like Empress-like, and or queens are literally the ones being guided to take the action towards, you know, up leveling their life. So for instance, I learned yesterday that the Queen Elizabeth's, like, I guess, like, talking about planning, how they planned her, you know, her funeral or her death or whatever, would basically, they literally were like, they called it Operation Unicorn, okay? So I found it so fucking crazy funny because I was like, oh my god, like, I knew that it was very much so tied into us unicorns, and I didn't know like how, but I felt the energy of it, and I was like, yo, you gotta be fucking joking me, like, that's fucking crazy. So and what's crazier is, like, I might have mentioned it in one of the in the readings, but like I didn't post them, is that the unicorn on the day that she passed came up in the mediumship cards, which is I can be in 2 places at once, or more, I don't know what the card is, but it's I can be in more than 2 places at once, or something like that, in 2 places or more at once. And I was like, oh, okay, like, I didn't, like, no, I didn't register it, but then I was like, oh my god, Operation Unicorn, and I got the unicorn card that day through mediumshipness even. Like, it's just so cool. It's just so cool. The universe is so fucking cool. And spicy and hot and all that jazz. Like, it's fun, you know what I'm saying? Here, I'm also getting knowledge, spirituality, and self-love, also having a lot to do with Virgo energies. There is some sort of like shiny golden breakthrough happening. There could be a lot of talks on gold, or but definitely self-love. I'm also seeing coins, so I don't know, there could be a lot of like talk in that, or taking action. I'm gonna say talk because talking is coming out, but taking action through maybe talking about it is also coming out as well. I found out recently that Virgo energies were, very interestingly enough, hold on, let me just see if I can find it just to be more exact about it. It was like, give me 1 second, because I looked it up. Oh, okay, yeah. So I feel the masculine aspect of the Virgo, which is the Hermit card, is sacrifice without regret, aka pride, right? But then the divine feminine aspect is self-care. So I also wanted to add that, into that knowledge, because that is extra knowledge, but knowledge, spirituality, and self-love, I guess, has a lot to do with the Hermit card. And not to say that like self-care is not for guys or the masculine, and pride is not for chicks. It's the, you know, it's just for guys. It's not that. It's literally just like, where is its home base? Home base energy is in the divine feminine. Home base energy of pride is the divine masculine, right? Like, it's a little bit of ego. I mean, both kind of involve a little bit of ego, to be honest with you. But it's a healthy type of ego, and what's popping out at me is without regret, right? So basically there's something that's like happening where I think spirit wants you to take action without regret, wants you to have the self-care without regret, wants you to just kind of keep working in that area of your life, which is knowledge, spirituality, which is happiness and joy and just fun, you know what I'm saying? And self-care, which is, you know, literally, you know, gym tan laundry, you know what I'm saying? Also for me, I don't know, self-care is like makeup, and definitely I love tanning, and definitely like, you know, being out by the beach. Actually, do I read this book? Let me just see if I can remember, because is it in this book or is it in another book? Oh, I would have to, let me go into the next card, because there's a book in here that I was reading yesterday that literally was telling you like what to do, and I couldn't remember what book it is. I think it's in this one, but oh, meditation is self-care. Amen. I definitely have to meditate today for sure. Listening to your intuition, letting go, that's all self-care, guys. So you just basically just make sure to improve on your health is what I'm saying. What was I going to say? Also, it's really good that if you know, sometimes it's really good that you stay in alignment with your kind of shooting North Star, but also, I know that doesn't exist, but like, we're going to have it exist in my world. I'm also going to just say that it's really good that if you are masculine, it's really good to it's really good to cross the two, right? Which is basically like, take care of yourself more in terms of self-love, but also like for the divine feminine to actually feel a little prideful about like what it is that she does within her life. Like, you know, cheer yourself on a little bit. In terms of like, oh shit, that's nice, like, good job, T. I always say that to myself, good job, T, good job, T. Like, you know, because who else is gonna do it for you? After you stop being like baby cute, people stop doing that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, they'll do it when you start walking and shit, but like, you know, after that you're on your own type of thing, you know? So no one teaches you that until it kicked in, where I was just like, damn, I gotta like lift my own spirits up, you know what I'm saying? And actually when you do that, it is lifting your own guardian angels up as well, because they're always helping you with it, you know what I'm saying? So it's not just for you and you yourself and you, and it's not just selfishness and da-da-da. It's literally for you and your entire angelic realm of an A-team, you know what I'm saying? The next card is communicate clearly, and Spirit definitely wants me to read the book on that, which I feel there is a need for that too. Communicate clearly. Okay. We have to breathe through these really... Ooh, what the heck? What the heck? Hold on, guys. I just started bleeding out of like nowhere, but I think that's like a really clear sign of something. Hold on one second. I don't know where it's coming from. Before you go. And I have a white shirt on, so it's like, please no. Please no. Just a second. Maybe I was like itching something, but I don't know. Is it on my face? I don't know. No? Wow, that's weird. That is definitely a sign, though, I'm not gonna lie. Hold on one second, guys. I'm gonna just grab some water. I don't see it. Okay. Signs, signs, signs. Okay. Okay, this bitch is thirsty. And guess what, guys? I'm so proud of myself because I went walking yesterday. And I went to the dollar store, right? And literally I found this Life Water, and I really am such a fan of Life Water because I love art. And I found this Life Water there that had a tiger on it, and I was like, oh my god, that's so cute. I was like, it's literally water tiger energy, like this year, right? Like in the Chinese zodiac. So I was so happy when I found that. That's what I'm saying. Like, be proud of, be proud and happy of, you know, just like the smaller things, you know. And actually that literally came up recently too, and I felt like as if it was literally sent by the Queen, was like, enjoy the smaller things, right? The smaller things in life, which, you know, I feel like anybody at any stature can do. But I also feel, wow, that just gave me, wow, that's beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. So I just feel like, I'm going to keep that one to myself, but I just feel like it's really important to just simplify down to just the simplicity of it all, because literally, like, you just never know, you know, life can be all too busy, life can be all too fleeting in terms of time. And it's really just, it would be a wonderful self-care thing to just like be in the moment and really enjoy your simplicity. Like, I know today I had to meditate, and I also very much so need to write in my gratitude journal for sure today, because like something's just calling me. And you know, whether it's about dreaming or what I have now, but simplicity is really like, just really be extra grateful for the simple things in life. And I'm just gonna say it out loud. I mean, I'm always extra grateful for the simple things in life, but I literally just have to kind of, you know, take my time on it and really kind of sacredly give it the time that it deserves, because it can be all too fleeting. And sometimes it's more about the high vibrational feeling of it all. You have to give it time so that you can feel, you know. Like, for instance, I was watching something weird fucking yesterday. I don't know. I just like was just like, oh, let's just see what this is all about. But what it had taught me was, and despite like whoever you fucking choose to get married to or whatever, but it was like a guy and a girl was really expressing her thoughts to her husband. And she was like, I'm here. Like, who the fuck knows what went on before the scene or before them, you know, getting to that point. But she had asked her husband, like, blatantly out loud, like, let me help you with things, you know, because he had suffered a loss, and he like removed her hand from his, right? And I was like, oh damn, that's not cute. But at the same time, like, you know, God bless, she did express herself. And then so she turned around, she walked away. Because I guess she's probably, I don't know, trying to fucking figure out where she fits in the whole scheming of the vulturism when somebody fucking dies. I don't fucking know. But long story short, and God bless the royal house right now, because I can only fucking imagine. Like, there was even some things that popped up yesterday in terms of what I was reading that I was like, yo, people are just so fucking nuts, dude, when it comes down to somebody passing. But it is what it is. Like, you know, we have to just accept that, you know, minds are fucking lost, like, literally, you know, because it's wacko and it's wild, and it's just something to, you know, it's all well is what Spirit is saying, but because it needs to be that way. But it's a weird type of wrangle, you know what I'm saying? But long story short, why I went into that whole thing, there was a point where it was like, you know, is that like even if you are in a relationship of any sort, it is really good to give time to the people that are around you that you actually give a shit about. You know what I'm saying? That's why I brought that, you know, that couple up, is even if they're having bad times, they might only have the bad times because one didn't give enough, you know, attention to the relationship. And honestly speaking, that's literally the bottom line of all relationships. If you don't give them attention, if you don't like, you know, if you don't like give them love, right, the love and attention that they need, it's like it dissipates. Like, you know, relationships of all kinds take work, and this is why I'm so big on leaving a relationship on a good note whenever I can, because of the fact that, you know, sometimes you don't have the time, you know, and thank you, Spirit, they sometimes you don't have the time, sometimes you know, sometimes you don't have the time, but in that time you actually brought quality to it. You know what I'm saying? So the whole thing is, you know, do your best to bring quality to all your relationships at all times, and that's really your best self, you know? And that's also how you're going to be able to have the strength to, if something goes wrong, you can stand up for yourself. Like, because you know that if you are in the moment with certain different relationships, which is giving it effort, right? Because it takes work to be in the moment. If it wasn't work, people would be doing it all the time, and we would have no fucking problem, and we would basically have no, I'm gonna say, like, a law, you know, in essence, because everybody would kind of man up and you know, like what is it called? Not fess up, but more so like, I shouldn't say we wouldn't have any law, but, you know, everybody would know what would have gone on in truth if you were in the moment, right? So, like, basically there would be like no type of talking shit about anything, because we all know what the fuck happened if you were gonna stay in the mindful moment, you know? So there's like basically no lies that can erupt, and if lies erupt, then, you know, shit goes down, you know what I'm saying, to recorrect it, which is stupid, but, you know, some people like to be on the negative, stupid side of things, rather than, you know, the truthful side of things, which is just either you have to own up if you fucked up, or you have to just stand your ground in terms of your own self-pride to be like, that's not exactly what the fuck happened. Or it, just as I'm about to read this card, communicate clearly, where it's like, you know, sometimes, and especially now with Mercury retrograde, there's gonna be fucking, you know, weird ass communication going on. So, you know, if somebody asks you like for to like reiterate yourself, like, what the fuck did you actually mean? Like, don't be so offended by it. Just be grateful that they asked, because excuse me, it takes effort and strength for somebody to come out and ask for a refresher, you know, of like a, you know, can you like tell me like what you meant by that? That takes a lot of courage. People don't realize that. So the whole thing is, so again, also courage can be here as well in terms of pride. That has a lot to do with pride in and of itself. Courage and pride go kind of quote unquote hand in hand, but make sure that they're the healthy version of it, right? Because there's like weird ass other different kind of versions of it that like you don't want to tap into, because it would just make your life all too, like, excuse me, way more insane than it needs to fucking be. You know what I'm saying? You gotta really, just with these queen vibes, that came up yesterday too, is, you know, her slogan was keep calm and move on. What is it? Keep calm and move on. Keep calm and keep going, or some shit. I can't think of it right now, but hi, by the way. So long story short, yeah, keep calm and keep going, or something. Keep calm and all is well. I don't know. I can't remember what the fuck her slogan is, but basically go back to what I was saying about, you know, the positive version of pride and I'm going to even also say ego. Pride, ego, and courage would be to kind of play off of the positive so that you do have the energy of cool, calm, and collected and confident on your side, rather than, and in a genuinely truthful way, rather than you needing to fucking, you know what I'm saying, like fake it till you make it, because that bullshit is so annoying. I don't know who the fuck created that little rhyme, and honestly, like, my whole thing is, I think it's more negative than it is positive, but I do see the positive aspect in it. So when somebody says that, I try to go that route, but honestly, not my favorite quote, not gonna lie. So communicate clearly. Here's what we all need to know for this Mercury retrograde coming up, and I think it's over on October 5th, but also there's a shadow period. Oh, I think I found where I'm bleeding. Okay, hold on. Where I'm bleeding from. Sorry. I did pick a scab. Sorry, I didn't know where my scab was from. I would have never thought it would be from there. But it was found, bitches. It was found. All right. So anyhow, yeah, so October 5th, but then there's like, you know, 3 or 4, I would give it up to a week after if you can, in terms of just letting it wane out, do its thing, you know. Also, there's a happiness about this communicate clearly. So make sure that when you communicate clearly, it really kind of is a more healed, like high vibrational way where it's happy, you know? It doesn't have to be so fucking dramatic all the time. So it says this situation requires very precise and careful communication. And that's basically what I wanted to actually kind of get down to, is when you are hanging out with another person, being mindful with them is literally being way more precise, and I'm not going to say careful, but I'm going to say more nurturing, you know what I'm saying, with what you have there. And this doesn't have to be with just like, oh, just the people that you know. I mean, it should maybe go a little extra with the people that you know and love, but also this should be given to like a stranger, you know what I'm saying? Be very in the moment with them. That's giving love. That's also giving yourself the focus and the being in the moment with your own life, you know what I'm saying? So don't struggle with that. Just definitely just be in the present moment so that you can literally like live a happier and more, you know, joyous and more just content and pleasurably filled life, you know? It's really important. It's like the effort that happens there is actually super high vibrational, but also very much so adds to your life, where you really X out any regrets that can possibly happen. We were just talking about regrets before. So it says, don't assume that don't assume that others involved understand what you want or need from them. In-person discussions are preferable. But if that's not possible, make sure that your communication method is very thorough. And that is kind of what we might have to keep revisiting for the next couple of weeks, is thoroughness, okay? But also put in the effort ahead of time to be thorough. So there might be a little bit more work ahead just to kind of keep communications flowing. But in the end, like after Mercury retrograde, you're probably going to see that there's going to be less fuck-ups to go and fix. You know what I'm saying? So don't be impatient. Right now, it's like you got to take action as your happy midway card, but also when you take action, be patient with yourself as you're taking the action, right? Like literally cover all of your bases. Have enough time for that, and or don't take action, or I'm gonna say leave the action for later, for when your energy is up to par for it. You know what I'm saying? Because now you really have to kind of put in a little bit more efforted patient work, if that makes any sense. And that goes out for you guys in the medical industry too. In terms of having patience with patients, right? This card can indicate that there has been a miscommunication that is creating a challenge for the parties involved. By clearing up any misunderstandings, you can heal the situation so that everyone can start moving forward again. And that's basically probably the gift that Mercury retrograde is sending our way, is to clear up any misunderstandings, to kind of, revisit any and all communications that have come up that, people are kind of in the gray area about in the negative way. Because, like it says, you can heal the situation, which is the green frame, right? Heal the situation so that everyone can start moving forward again. And I'm just going to put the prayer out there that Archangel Raphael, thank you in advance for helping all of us out with, the patience needed and the clear communication that's needed across these next few weeks. Now, that is so crazy because as I'm saying this prayer, I'm looking at these cards, and it says, within the next few weeks, communicate clearly. I'm putting them together. That is so weird. And, it's weird because the cards, never fucking lie. And it's so crazy because within the next few weeks, communicate clearly. That definitely shows the time frame of Mercury retrograde. So it's kind of literally, when you communicate, just make sure to take the time that's needed to communicate. Slow your roll down. Have patience. What else? Make sure you drink a lot of water, because honestly, you kind of also need to be a little, fulfilled as you're putting the effort in. So you need to be hydrated up. You need to be, if you haven't eaten, you have to communicate clearly at that little thing. Listen, I haven't eaten right now. I know you want to discuss this. I'm about to discuss it too. No problem. But I need to eat, or this needs to be discussed over food, or, something along the lines, because you have to make sure that your fuel is filled up before you can actually give out fuel. That's what the self-love is about, guys. It's about making sure that your energy is proper so that you can actually adhere to what is needed from you, or what you have to be involved in to basically, I'm hearing Tesseract, but also, which is wild, right, with the whole taking action, but which is you needing to exert. Thank you. That's what I'm, exert your energy. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole thing. So also when it comes to take action, this card is, fuel your own fire first, in terms of give yourself, if you have a fire inside, make sure that the fire is kind of, that it keeps going, that you kind of keep placing the wood in the fire, right? Wood in the fire, which also could be a lot of pentacle talk, actually. So maybe you need money to fuel your fire and your passions and your dreams a little bit. So that really kind of makes a lot of sense now that I'm speaking about it. And also, thank you so much ahead of time for donating to this channel. Whether you are a known person by me or not, I really appreciate it in all the same sacred ways. And what was I going to say? Because I know that I'm a person that would do the exact same thing once my fucking fuel is lit the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? And I believe I know when that's going to happen, in terms of what it would take for me to start giving back. But at this point, there's no give back, but also giving back really needs to come from the divine masculine, because I already give in this way as well, right? I give from a different standpoint, but the divine masculine really needs to kind of show up and give out. Because here's the thing, I was watching something yesterday too, this is just gonna be funny, is that literally guys have no fucking problem giving money out to where they have to kind of in my language they say podmaji, which is bribe, right? So people that's what it's so funny. And maybe this is not guys, but guys I feel are easier at it, but women too can do it, where it's you know, people have no problem giving money to where, quote unquote, any type of bribery is due. But when a person actually fucking needs money, like, just like, you know, to survive, or like just for the simple aspect of like paying fucking bills, it's like, you know, like it's like a big fucking deal, right? But here's the thing. And this is not even a bribe. This is like just how energy works that people don't fucking think about, is like, you ignore somebody that really does not deserve to be ignored, and when they come out on top, they will remember you if they are of smart self-love, right? And the whole thing is, there won't be any bribing there any longer, and that is where the power comes into play, where you're going to have the purity in it before anybody else can actually kind of like literally kind of butter you up. That's what pudmaji means, is like butter you up, you know what I'm saying? So it's really interesting how people like they invest in their own, I guess, like, it's easy, like, it's just really phenomenal to me in this world how it's easier to actually bribe somebody to get what you want out of them, right? Or get, and really it's kind of sort of negative, so it's like not even a win-win situation. But like, if somebody is like just blatantly like needing money for like fucking like artists and shit, you know what I'm saying, creatives and shit, or like people that you know and love, and yet just aren't up to their, you know, living, I don't know, whatever, they're set back a little bit, right? The whole thing is like, that's where it's like, quote unquote, so tough for us to like actually give like monies to, because we don't want to, you know, God forbid they take it in a negative way, or as if we're like, you know, what is it called, like, you know, helping them live. But what we don't understand is like, we're all helping each other to live, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you go to fucking Costco, you're giving your monies to Costco to help yourself to live, you know what I'm saying? You would never be like, oh, Costco doesn't deserve my money. Like, you're fine with doing that. So like, we're all doing that to each other. I don't know if that's a good example, but I feel like I have a hair in my mouth. Hold on one second. Ew. I don't know what that was. That was so gross. I think I'm turning into like this cat bitch, and I'm probably having like hairballs come up. But anyway, it's still in my throat, and I like, I can't get it. Ew, I don't know what that is, but it feels like a hair. Whatever, you just never know what could fucking happen to you while you're sleeping, in terms of hairballs and shit, like swallowing your own fucking hair and shit, whatever. It's either gonna have to go down or come back up, spirit. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna try to swallow it. Let it come out my poops, you know, my stools. What was I gonna say? But like, yeah, so it's just so funny. And do I talk about it? And like, here's the thing, like, it's like wild to me too, because like, if there's a positive person like me, and I'm gonna take myself for instance, right? But not even a positive well, I'm gonna say positive people have a lot to do with education, honestly speaking. And it can be education of all sorts, but I just met somebody who is held in high regards in terms of society, right? And he and I like had a really real talk with him, you know, spiritually based talk with him. And he had said, and I get confused, I really do get confused between Western and Eastern cultures, which one is which. I don't know why. But basically, because I feel like I'm always like unity based. So like, I'm like, I don't know which one we're fucking talking about. I never like split that shit up. But long story short, I think we're Eastern, whatever. Doesn't fucking matter. I gotta look it up. I'm always confused with that. Just like I'm always confused with my lefts and my rights. So long story short, he was telling me that, you know, when like in Indian culture, wherever that is, Western or Eastern, they don't believe in, you know, when you're 18 you need to move out. They don't give a fuck actually if you are within the house and you are still educating yourself and doing something with your life. That's all that they want you to do. And it's crazy because like I think like that too, where I'm like, you know, I'm a little bit, and I think spirituality kind of comes into play with that, because I think like people don't realize, like, here it's really interesting. And I ran into something that said that on fucking what's it called, on social media the other day. Somebody posted like, people don't realize that homelessness has a lot to do with the curse of when you're 18 you're kicked out to the to the curb, because you're supposed to, like, you know, you're supposed to be able to make your own ends meet type of thing. But the thing is, it's like a lot of, like, I've even met like older people, like, not older people, but other people is what I meant to say, other people who have kids that literally, and they're wealthy, and they were just telling me, you know, you can't make it out there with what's going on right now. And it's true. Like, I don't, like, and I'm not gonna say I'm like victimizing it, but like, honestly speaking, the math is there, you know what I'm saying? The math speaks the truth. So like, the whole thing is like, let a bitch just be. And I love education, and so my whole thing is, and also we don't realize, like, when you have a kid and you make that choice in having a kid, no matter what fucking happens, that kid is quote unquote, and this might sound like such an asshole thing for me to say, but I'm going to be just very honest and truthful, because this is how I would be. Like, if I decided to have a kid, which a lot of people in my family are not appreciative of me not having a kid at this point, because I could have really brought on the fucking drama, right? And the whole thing is, it's like the hardship, I could have brought it all on, like, not giving a shit about really anybody, you know what I'm saying? But the whole thing is, people don't realize, when you have a child, your child is your child for life. Even if you don't like them, even if you don't love them, you have to kind of sort of, like, I guess, keep hustling until your child, but it's not even just for the child, it's for yourself, it's for your own non-boredom sake, right? Because my whole thing is, if like there's a because no child and no human being is perfect, you're always gonna have you're always going to slack in something that you're going to try to kind of maybe even, you know, focus on and try to get it better, but it really kind of takes away from the focus of what your strengths are. So like, the whole thing is, you know, I just find it really fucking crazy that, like, you know, I'm not even trying to bring the crazy at anybody's world, especially my own. So my whole thing is, it's like, what is the problem with me just fucking, you know, deciding to use my life the way that I need to use my life for right now, which is, if I'm a, let's say, quote unquote, a writer, or if I'm a yin person where I like to be at home and I like to be, you know, I like to be like to myself, and I like to, you know, if I like to write and read, and that takes a certain amount of alone time, why does that look crazy? Why does that, even if you don't understand it, why does it look crazy? Why is there so much pushback on it? Why is there so much like impatience around it? You know what I'm saying? And the whole thing is, it's like, you know, so when he brought that up to me, he actually released me, because, like, you know, a lot of people, when it comes to family, kind of make, like, they're so used to you being a certain way, maybe, like, they think that they know you, that, like, literally they don't give you the aspect of growth, you know what I'm saying? Like, the growth that you need, the time that you need to grow, you know, they kind of cause problems where problems are really needed. And so that's the whole thing. When that was told to me, like, by this outside person, I was like, it was kind of more so to tell me that I'm not fucking crazy when I'm kind of just doing my own thing, because that's where my focus needs to be. Yesterday, I also brought up in the podcast I didn't post was, you know, Nikola Tesla, for instance, like, if he wasn't given the time and the space to literally, hi there. If he wasn't given the time and the space to basically invent or do what he needed to do for work, you know what I'm saying, for his own, you know, self-involvement, self-interest, right? Like, we wouldn't have had electricity, you know what I'm saying? There is a lot of shit we would not have had if we didn't give him the time of day. Now, I know he went through so many fucked up problems too, because of the fact that he also wasn't left alone, because I guess people saw that, you know, there was potential in him, so there was, you know, the word gets out. But the whole thing is, he didn't give a fuck. And I am so appreciative of that, because he just literally just was kind of, he took action on what he knew he needed to do without anybody else's approval, you know? Now, he did have the approval of his mom behind him, which I know for a fact makes life so much fucking easier when you have a cheerleader of a mother behind you. And so I urge, and I always have urged that. That's why I say, when you have a kid, and even if you're with somebody else and they have a kid, it is very important to wholesomize yourselves and be and all have each other's backs. It's very important. And in terms of all have each other's backs, it means, like, if you can't give them money or time or energy or whatever, the energy actually, all of it kind of coincides with one another. But what I'm saying is, you need to give them some sort of belief, some sort of trust that they're not fucking crazy. Don't bring them down when they actually are a part of your intelligent aspect of your family, right? And everybody has the potential to be intelligent in their own right. You can see somebody is so stupid, and yet they can come up from the cracks within the fucking cement to, like, then, you know, spring upon some fucking, you know, enlightenment to you as well, right? So the whole thing is, it's like, you know, never really put somebody down when really they are such a light in this world. And if you can, just coming full circle when we were talking about money and pentacles, is like, you know, if you have somebody in your world that is fueled by a fucking fire, you better believe that you should be fucking investing in them monetarily. So, and that's just to keep their fire going. A lot of people like to say, yeah, to keep this channel going, please invest in me and this and that. And yeah, I like was, you know, I never kind of knew what they were talking about. I was like, a channel could be free. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't really apply there. But what we don't realize is that this channel would not be here, or I'm going to say this channel would not be utilized if a fire of mine within myself was not utilizing it, right? Like, you'd be missing out on a whole bunch of enlightenment and a whole bunch of truth and a whole bunch of, you know, right directionals and accurate directionals in terms of, you know, the forecasted energy of today and how to use it to your maximize strengths and abilities, if I wasn't showing up, right? And also, and with my realness comes a positivity that you can't get anywhere else. Like, it's my positivity is unique to myself, but also unique to this world. And even though a person, and this goes out to, like, you know, guardians of people and people within a fam, people in a friend fam, and then, you know, the ripple out effect beyond that is like, I kind of just lost my thought, is like, literally, I think that's what it is. It's just like fuel the fire. Oh, that's what it is. It's like, if you see a person that seemingly doesn't look like they're doing anything with their life, right? Or seemingly doesn't bring anything to the table. And I say seemingly because of the fact that you only see one side to it, you know, at face value when you are either with them or around them or whatever. My whole thing is, it is your job and it is your duty as a supportive person around that person to literally take action in speaking very highly towards that person in terms of pumping the belief system in them, because it's not, their life is not as easy as other people, you know, may seem to make it out to be. There's a lot of people that are suffering that, like, are positive lights in this world that are suffering in the sense of they want to take their light out. They want to fucking just be gone, be done with it, just take me, God, and call it a day, because we don't there's a lot of the times that we don't even see a purpose to ourselves. But what's so beautiful is that at the same environment of which I was at, and I was talking to this Indian man, was they had posted a fortune cookie, and you know how I resonate with fortune cookies. The fortune cookie had said something like, you're even if, I don't know what it had said verbatimly, but it said something like, the sole purpose of humans are to bring their positivity into an environment, right? And that's the whole thing. Like, my whole thing is, whether I'm down or whether I'm up, I have a positivity in me that exudes, and even if I'm moody, it overpowers that moodiness to where I just exude the realness and the real positivity in things that people don't see, right? Like, so my whole thing is, when it comes down to it, I matter, right? And there was a thing that Warren Buffett had said in one of his books, and or Ty Lopez had taught me in another book. I can't remember if it was Warren Buffett himself, or I know it was definitely came through Ty Lopez, that they said how, like, and my whole thing is, I have to actually do that course today, is like, he said, are you a person, how did it go? It said, are you a person of, was it giving a fuck? Giving a damn about? Are you a person that not gives a damn about, but are you a person of that gives a damn, or that you were to, like, let's say, like, and I can't remember what the fucking saying is, but it's more so of like, if you knew this person back in high school, would you invest in them, right? Are they the type of person that you would give a damn about, you know? Are they the type of person that you would that like would, like, I forgot how they fucking said it. It was like, are you worthy of being given a damn of, or something like that. I can't remember what it was. But I was like, oh my God, that's so crazy, because like, I would invest in my, like, they said specifically high school self, because guess what? If you have not changed from your high school self, right? And I'm going to put it in a different way. If you are at your core, so high school really is you at who you are at the core. You know what I'm saying? So if you are a person that really, because that in essence is your purity, is your innocence. You know what I'm saying? And so if you were worthy of being invested in then you are absolutely, and you haven't changed, right? You made it a point to really not change so much, because really there's a truth to just like you being you. You know what I'm saying? There's an importance. There's not just a truth. There's an importance to you just being you. Then you deserve to be invested in, right? And when it comes to money. So my whole thing is, I'm going to just ask blatantly, is that this channel, even though I don't like to say this channel, but myself, right? Myself needs to be invested in at this moment in time, so that we can make more of than what this channel can bring, right? And that's with me putting, like, you know, my dreams into reality, which are going to help out a lot of people. But honestly speaking, like, it's going to be fabulous because it comes from me, right? My inventions, my talks, my spirituality, my, my contentment, my gratitude, my positivity at its fucking maximum best is worth being invested in. And if anybody comes at me differently or sideways or thinks that that's not the case, I don't have to prove that to you. I just know that, right? Like, there's a confidence in me that needs to be there to then stand up for what I know and I believe to be true, and of what I know and believe, to be true. That came out weird, but in essence, I believe it to be true, and I know that that's a solid thing. I've worked on it for a very long time. Somebody recently just told me that. They were like, wow, like, I've never seen such a positive, person. But here's the thing, the only people that can see it are not family. Because it just is like, you're like, everybody, if you're too close for comfort, you ain't seeing that positivity, you know what I'm saying? So the whole thing is, that's why I love saying hi strangers, because only strangers can see the positivity shine through and being illuminated, you know what I'm saying? Because family has a way of wanting to kind of quote unquote keep you grounded when you're already fucking grounded. So what are you gonna do? Like, punch me into the dirt? Like, we can't go any fucking lower, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, my roots are already deep. Like, you can't even touch my roots in terms of how deep they are, So they've already grounded, they've already grown into what they are. And so my whole thing is, it's like, when it comes down to it, we need to start spitting some money out at Tina like you would at a fucking stripper convention, because this is the shit that needs to go down. At this point, spirituality needs to be very important to people, so that you can actually turn to somebody on your lows and really experience some real positivity and real turnarounds in your perspective, so that you can kind of keep on going. I don't understand why it would take people so long to fucking see that, honestly speaking. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind fucking speaking that truth at all, because the whole thing is, we have to come out of our shadows. We have to come out of our face, even to, like, remind people that, like, I too need a lot of help, even if I have a lot of truths that I am able to spit out and talk about and know to be true. The whole thing is, it's like, we all are unbalanced somewhere, so we really need help in rebalancing, and it shouldn't, and just because somebody is off balance somewhere in their life doesn't mean that they need to be taken down and, like, fucking I'm gonna say, like, ground up and grinded into the fucking dirt of the, of the grass or of the floor. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to be kicked down while we're already fucking seeing that there's something really down about us. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'll fight until the end. I don't give a damn. I'll fight to the death on anybody who actually thinks that that's okay. You know what I'm saying? And I know I have stamina in that. And honestly, the whole thing is, but, to each its own, in terms of, every battle has to be looked at in a certain way. Are the people even fucking worthy at that point to battle it out with? Because I don't battle with stupid anymore, really, when it comes down to it. So if you're stupid, if you don't see it after the first time that I told you, or after, the second time that I taught you, taught, same fucking shit, is like, you literally, there's an issue with your not understanding or ability to communicate or ability to have compassion. And I am going to stay very far away and cleared the fuck out of the way, out of that person's path, so that they can go a certain other route and God can take them a certain other route, because I don't have enough time on this earth to spend wasting teaching people who don't give a fuck about other people in terms of compassion. I don't. That's either, remembered within you as like a moral compass type of thing that needs to be, something of importance to you, or somebody else needs to teach you. But I'm definitely not wasting my time on certain people that can't come through on their own compassion. There's no way, because it's, you either have it or you don't, right? And that's where I literally would always invest in myself. I would turn that energy around, invest it in myself. I would suggest that you did the same too. Ignore the fights or the chaos out of somebody else that doesn't understand that shit, and just keep on taking action when it comes down to yourself and what you need to do, because time can't be wasted. People say we have 24 hours in the day. No, we don't. We have 16. If you actually did the fucking, we have only 16 hours in the day. Do you know how fast that fucking goes? That is not a lot of time. So when you say you have 16 hours in a day, you have to make sure who the fuck it is that you're hanging out with, or who the fuck it is that you're giving you're expending your energy towards. That is not something that that I would waste my 16 hours on. Like I said, you either have compassion or you don't. You're either willing to help a person or you don't. You either see the value in a person or you don't. And let's get it moving, right? Take action. Perfect timing. It's counting me down. I got 25 seconds. So my whole thing is, have a great day, guys. Enjoy your time here on Earth and really just do what you got to do for yourself to just, just enjoy yourself a little bit. The electricity might be going out too over here, so hopefully not. But thank you guys for tuning in. I'll talk to you soon, and bye.